make a video, study for the next test, make a video, study for the. We're making a video. Um, what's the topic? So yeah, Christian music. It's great. It's music. And just like any other kind of music, there's gonna be music you like and music you don't like. And yeah, you can find just about any genre within Christian music. Christian country, Christian pop, Christian rock. I've even got some recommendations if you're looking for. I don't think I can name like Christian artists in every genre, but like I've been listening to a lot more Skillet, NF, Ann Wilson, 10th Avenue North. That band's always been a part of my life, but like this year I've just been like grinding. Cause like I can't. Did I talk about like how I feel kind of disappointed about my recent Spotify Wraps? That like even though I'm like, oh, I listen to so many artists and it's like the same. It's like 6 artists have appeared on my last 3. On my last 3 Wraps. And 3 of them, Taylor Swift, Colton Dixon, and Against the Current, have been on all 3 of them. And then Casting Crowns, Lauren Daigle, and Sidewalk Prophets were each on 2 of the 3 of, yeah. So I've decided that I'm going to rig this year and go out of my way to make sure that an artist other than those 6 shows up, and I feel like that's going to be 10th Avenue North. Which is fine. They're a great band. I recommend their music to just about anyone who's looking for Christian music. But yeah. And Ann Wilson, I've been listening to her for a while, but she released an album April 19th, which is Torture Poets Day for Swifties. But I was in a stressful time, so I didn't listen to that album until like beginning of May. But I did listen to Ann Wilson's album on release day, on that day. I mean, it was shorter, so yeah, I just had this in my room. I don't think I have ADD or ADHD. I'm definitely not going to assume that. I'm obviously not diagnosed, or I would be like, but yeah, and I was thinking about this reel, and it's kind of yapping about like modern Christian music being selfish. And then there was a comment on that reel that was like, tell me you haven't, wasn't this, but it was like, tell me you haven't read Psalms without telling me. Because, like, the example she used was like oceans. And like the line, Spirit lead me, like that's somehow selfish. Which is an interesting take. And yeah, there's all kinds of Christian music out there, and there is honestly some of it that is like borderline heresy, and I think you do need to be careful about that. I'm just like, we need to be careful, like, what we listen to in general. And, like, it's even possible for something to be branded as Christian music when it's something you need to be like, everyone's just, I feel like everyone's in my house asleep and I'm just, like, yelling at the top of my lungs. It feels so terrible. And also, I, like, threw this down earlier and I was like, ooh, I should not have done that. But I've made more noise. We're gonna set that down gently and try not to get distracted by it again. Yeah. I don't have any particular, red flags coming to my mind as far as, Christian music that you need to, like, watch out, that might be heresy. And there was another comment. I think it was like a reply to the one that was like pointing out how like Oceans is kind of a lot of these like selfish Christian songs are a lot like psalms, because it's like David writing about his situation and what God's doing for him in those situations. But yeah, I think it was like a reply to that comment, and then it was like someone saying like, thank you for saying this, because like I've seen so many like Christian influencers or whatever like ragging on modern day Christian music, and it's like made them feel bad for actually like worshiping God like, while listening to that. And like that was such an interesting take. I was like, because quite frankly, like I think Hillsong and like those other like mega church worship bands are like the main subjects. Like, people will like go after Lauren Daigle when she's like speaking about something, and they're like, oh, she didn't bring up Jesus here, and it's like, but like they tend to like not go after her music, or I haven't seen them go after like her music. It's mainly like those bands, and I'll be honest, I don't really listen to those bands. Actually, I listen to North Point Worship. And there's like a couple Passion songs I like, with Christian Stanfill. But yeah, I'm mostly listening to like Colton Dixon, Lauren Daigle, 10th Avenue North, Casting Crowns. I have discovered Christian artists like somewhat recently, like Ann Wilson, Katie Nicole, getting into more like indie Christian artists like Christian Anderson and Savinovsky, like smaller Christian artists that aren't all over like Caleb and all the radio stations. But I'm also listening to a lot of those songs that were on the radio in my own childhood, because I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up with the Fish Atlanta. K-Love, like those were playing in the car. So I heard the early Casting Crowns songs. I heard the early 10th Avenue North songs. I heard, honestly, we had, because at some point our car was old and the radio stopped working. But before that I was hearing Lauren Daigle, Colton Dixon with their hits, and eventually I actually like discovered these artists and actually dove in to the rest of the music, because like radio is like, it's the singles, it's the hits, but they're releasing like 10 10, 20 songs on the album that, like, for example, what's the big hit from East to West on The Alternador? That album has a title track. And that album has a track called Somewhere in the Middle. And it was listening to that song that I kind of realized what the theme was for the Alternador album. Because one line in Somewhere in the Middle is like somewhere between the altar and the door. And it's talking about that kind of like lukewarm state. But yeah, East to West is on that album. I don't remember hearing Slow Fade on the radio, but I think that was a single actually. And All Because of Jesus, It's All Because of Jesus, whatever that, I think it's the last track maybe. But I heard that in church one time. And then, like, years later, I was diving into Casting Crowns, and I was like, oh, that's their song? Because I never heard that on the radio, but yeah. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you use any music streaming services, to like dive in to Christian artists. Don't just listen to what's on K-Love, what's on The Fish, what's on The Joy, what's on, I don't even keep up with all the Christian radio stations. Those are the only three I know. But I know there's more, I think. But yeah. Find the artists that you think you like, listen to their albums. I feel like they all have albums. All like the major ones that are making Caleb. I don't think Savinovsky has an album, but he's not on the radio. I don't think. I mean, I haven't listened to the radio in years, so I can't really say that. But actually, we're going. My phone battery is garbage. Like, I think my settings says it's like 84% health. There's no way. Battery health. Yeah, it says 84%. There's no way. No way. So, let's see. Skillet, 9.6 million monthly listeners, but I've never heard them on Christian radio. That's Savinovsky, 27.3K. So, he's probably not on Christian radio. Surely more than that would be listening to a radio artist. Yeah, like 10th Avenue North almost at 700K. Tarian, 1.9 million. I love her song, Honestly, We Just Need Jesus. Alright, I know that cut's gonna look bad, but I started yapping about something that I don't want to post. So, yeah. Where'd I put my phone? I just threw it on my bed. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I need more research for my talking about that. But like, look into Christian artists. Genuinely look beyond what you're hearing on the radio. Because I'm not saying what you hear on the radio is bad. Like, I still listen to East to West, You Are by Colton Dixon, Lauren Daigle's singles. Yeah, this video is very long, so we're gonna end it here. Smash that like button, subscribe, share, comment, do all the things, and God bless you.